We're going. Cool. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Uh, Nothing much going on with me. Just loving life and hating work. But other than that, no complaints. It's been like 3 days since I did one of these, so I feel like I'm due. I had a suggestion from a couple of friends about one that I want to do, and I want to make sure that I get it in the right way. Like I don't just get some like shitty copy of it. I think they're releasing a lot of the movies by this company too on Blu-ray. I had a request to watch Class of Nukem High, one of the Trauma Team films from the 80s that mod on. Those fucking films are amazing. If you just love 80s shit, and I'm not talking like the 80s nostalgia shit, like I'm talking like the wild west that was like 80s fucking horror and gore and all this like shit like so I think what started it was there's this guy named Tom Savini who I've already gone over the zombie shit on I think the Land of the Army of the Dead one. But yeah, Red Letter Media talks about him a lot, and pretty much all my knowledge is from film school. So I forget where, but he was mentioned a couple of times. I don't think even in regards to Romero because he did some other work. I forget what the context was, but yeah, the guy pretty much revolutionized like how you make blood and gore effects and like other special effects that are like modernized it. And just like after this information like was put out in books and shit, people just started making all this crazy fucking horror stuff, and it's like Trauma Team is like the budget version of like John Carpenter. It's silly, it's morbid. One of my favorite movies by them is Surf Nazis Must Die, which is my good friend Mark. Shout out Mark. He had a hard copy of that. We watched it really stoned in college. It was fucking amazing. It's just it's ridiculous premises by this company that one of my professors in college actually worked for him. I forget what fucking film he worked on, but Bill Jennings is the guy's name. You can look him up on IMDb if you want. But yeah, he worked on a Trauma Team film, and he said the entire cast and crew was on acid for the duration of the film. So if that's a testament to how these films were made, yeah, maybe we should start doing that again instead of just like letting actors act like they fucking own the joint and just like everybody fucking calm down. You're making movies. You're not fucking curing brain tumors. Just fucking do your job and quit acting better than everybody, like because you're fucking skinny and literate. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I think I heard that one. That's just a gripe, but I was trying to be funny. It's been a long fucking week, man. Oh, god damn it. If any of you guys are aspiring line cooks or chefs or whatever, just fucking get out while you still can. Fucking figure out a real trade. This shit will kill you, kids. But yeah, so what I was going with Trauma Team, yeah. So Trauma Team like really revolutionized like the budget, fucking like horror, and just it's like everything is fucking ridiculous. It's like action adventure, superheroes like the Toxic Avengers. I have the entire Toxic Avenger series, including the fucking cartoons on DVD because I love the fucking Toxic Avenger. My uncle, shout out Uncle John. He's the one that when I turned 18, he gave me 3 movies. He gave me Repo Man, which is still hands down my favorite fucking movie of all time. Show me the only movie that came close, and I'm talking that was like still pretty like they're vastly different, and the rewatchability is not there with this one. But Midsummer was the one that like fucking like I saw that film and was like, God damn, that like broke my brain the same way Repo Man did. But Repo Man did it in a way that was just like perfect, just perfect, so fucking good. But like my uncle gave me fucking what did he give me? The Toxic Avenger. No, fuck. He showed me the Toxic Avenger because he gave me Spinal Tap, Repo Man, and Citizen Kane. All of which fantastic fucking movies. And then he showed me the Toxic Avenger because it was New Jersey's first superhero. I don't fucking really care about actual superhero lore, so if I got that wrong, go fuck yourself. But the premise of that is just a kid gets fucking toxic waste on him and fucking turns into a mutant with a really deep voice after being named Melvin and being a skinny nerd that cleans up a pool where he gets bullied. Oh god damn, that movie is fantastic. Like all the Trauma Team shit's fucking awesome. But yeah, Class at Nukem High. I'm gonna watch that one coming up soon. I want to see if I can get on Blu-ray because I think Trauma's releasing a lot of other shit. Fucking yeah. Let's just dive right into it. I'm sick of like I've been trying to step out of my boundaries and like see if I can see some other shit that I normally wouldn't see. Wow, that was put eloquently. Fucking good one, stupid. I'm trying to like expand my horizons, I guess, and see what I might not have thought I would like. And I guess I kind of fell off a little bit with it because the last couple films have just been annoying. But I found a film that I really wanted to watch, and I wanted to watch this for a long fucking time. And good or bad, I'm enthusiastic about this movie because the one scene of this movie that's apparently good, it's like an hour and 40 something minutes, an hour and 49 minutes it looks like. So I might hate everything in between it, but there is one fucking scene that makes this whole thing fucking worth it, in my opinion, because it is very well done, and it, like just from what I've seen on that, I'm sure the atmosphere of the entire movie is going to be similar. So I'm gonna scare the shit out of myself too, because I'm here by myself, and I'm like just dying to see this, but it popped back up on Prime, so it's really easy to find. It's a film called Cumonion. And it's got, I think, Willem Dafoe. No, Walken. Christopher Walken. It's got Christopher Walken in it. And Walken, I guess, has encounters with aliens. And yeah, there's a lot of UFO shit going on in the media right now, which I have my personal reservations about because anytime the CIA and internal affairs are real eager to let go a bunch of top secret classified information where their answer and response, like the whole rebuttal from them has just been, yeah, we don't fucking know what it is. What I think they're doing is they're kind of pulling the wool over your eyes. Like these are anomalies that they probably think there's a logical explanation of, which will, I think I touched on liking Secure Team 10. He offered a pretty good explanation for what some of these things without heat signatures are. And it's like, turns out when you have FLIR, forward looking infrared, radar, I think, no, forward looking infrared something. Anyway, when you have those, it gives you a weird jet stream, and like there could potentially be some overlap and oversight with what they were seeing. It could just be like an experimental jet or some kind of experimental propulsion system that another government or their own government was working on. And it's like, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that that's a thing, because look how bad the government is at getting anything done. The people that run the post office are all the way up the chain of command, and they're basically the same fucking people. They take tasks at the same fucking clip. So, take that with a grain of salt. There might be some fucking oversight that we're witnessing, and they're just like, yeah, well, you didn't step on anybody's toes, so fuck it. Like, I kind of think that's what's going on. But anyway, I am a believer of the extraterrestrials. I don't know in what facet. I kind of buy into the theory that they're interdimensional, because we have, roughly, I think it's like 18 fucking dimensions that they've been able to explain in theory, and they can kind of give you a rough idea. I highly recommend you just Google what the fourth dimension looks like, because there's like a series of like singular dimension, 2 dimensions, which is a straight line, and then 3 dimensions, which is like a cube, and then the fourth dimension is kind of like this like heliograph looking thing, but it's like all squares, where it's like basically a bunch of dimensions that are cubular, but they're all like intertwined with each other. And I like to think of like the way like cellophane like wraps shit, or like a vacuum sealer. That's kind of like the dimension that we live in. Like we can kind of perceive things very literally, but like there's other things that we use, like oxygen, because it's like at a molecular level or whatever, that you could in theory say we're like, not there. So what's to say that anything further than that, sub-molecular, if not like, somehow bigger, I don't fucking know, like on a more macro level, like we don't have just this like fucking layer that enveloping us of just a fourth or greater dimension, which shit's existing that we don't fucking think. Like people say deja vu is us like slightly crossing over into that dimension. I'm kind of liable to believe it because I get deja vu a lot because I smoke a lot of drugs. All right, that was a fucking good one. Yeah. Anyway. I was gonna say something I got fucking arrested, but that actually happened. Anyway, without further ado, we're gonna be watching Cumonion, and I'm looking forward to this one. So let's have some fun. Fucking A. That was a fucking amazing movie. Holy shit, did that make me happy. It took me 2 days. I fell asleep. So this is the next night, thanks to editing magic. But yeah, round of applause for fucking Communion. Communion fucking killing it. So yeah, where to begin? It was an entertaining movie. Pretty much like the only gripe that you could argue is that it is a little bit long. And if you're not into abstract thinking movies, like movies where you are gonna have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, and there's like pretty, it's pretty reliant on inference, especially if you're familiar with either like the subject matter or like the guy personally, which I was both. This was a very nice touch. And being the first time I've seen this movie while having a little familiarity with the case, it really complemented things in a like not like authentic, but like authentic. Authentic is, it feels very true to its source material, and it feels very closely and diligently researched. Despite it having a bit of like a bit of a stretch for what you would consider a way of tying it up. But all that being said, I was very, very, very entertained. I really liked this movie. Other than the abstractness and kind of like relying on knowing the thing, like I said, the length, it could have been like maybe 20 minutes shorter, but like honestly, like it's the first time I'm seeing it. I'll just skip the last 20 minutes because nothing really happens. But like, it's a very weird movie, but it's so like it's so weird that your suspension of disbelief is kind of like, okay, this is something that's a very interesting, and like, I guess one of the themes of this is that it's like I say that it's abstract, but that's not like a detriment. It's just like, if you don't like thinking, like if you want to turn your mind off and like watch like fucking Avatar, go for it. It has its place, it has its purpose. By all means, fucking do that. But like, this is not that alien movie. This is like, about a dude who, Willem. It's the fucking second time I fucking said that. Nope, wrong one. There we go. That's the right one. Not Christopher Walken, not Willem Dafoe. Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken was perfectly cast for this, because I was like, you kind of get like Walken as being a typecast kind of guy, and he is perfectly typecast for this role. I don't really know what the I forget the guy's name, but the author of the book that's the main character of this film, who Walken plays. Yeah, like I don't know what he sounds like. I don't care. Like, Walken does what I would expect. It is a guy who lives in a bit of a delusional but somewhat grounded realm of like fiction writing, and I kind of get that. Like, I've been to college. I've met people. I know people that create things. Yeah, like there's definitely like an artist type, and Walken does a really good job of not only hamming it up, but like just adding his little bit of like Walkenism, I guess, to the role, where he does like he does over the top like act outs and like kind of like pratfalls, and like he's playing with his kid and he's like being really goofy and silly, and then like once in a while, like when he's in an uncomfortable situation, he still goes back to like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, just like kind of out of the side of his mouth, that he does so perfectly. Like, come on, like it's fucking, I can't explain it other than it's just the perfect like typecast. He was so well done. The kid is surprisingly pretty good at what he does. He kind of serves as a little exposition machine, but that's not a big deal. I'm sure that in real life, I don't know how authentic any of this shit is, because like, when push comes to shove, the guy wrote this as a nonfiction, and then I guess it later got turned into fiction after it turned out like he wrote some sequels that didn't really have as much authenticity to them. But I think the incident is pretty well researched, and it seems like his time dilation, as well as like the people that interviewed him while he was under hypnosis, Whitley, I think is his name. Whitley something or other. Uh, like his time, he has like time and memory loss, and then like under hypnosis, he apparently like sees some creatures and has like full recall, which is like it's insane to think that that's like a thing, but like I kind of believe it. I do know that people have a tendency to give false testimonies while under hypnosis too, so I'll take it with a major grain of salt. Like I don't know how good the person was, but like the movie, they say that she's someone that they use her testimonies in court cases and shit. I don't know how authentic that is, but if that's true, like I'll give it a belief, like a little nod, like okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to suspend disbelief to watch this movie because it's a little bit goofy. Like there's dancing aliens, there's scenes where Walken's just doing crazy shit, but it walks this fine line of being over the top as well as staying grounded, and it kind of makes the amplification of the hypnotism and the kind of dreamlike sequences when he encounters and like willingly goes and communicates with the aliens. It makes it seem like very ambiguous whether or not he is just dreaming and like having like memory loss, or maybe he was probed and now this is just some kind of residual effect that he's trying to like replicate by forcing, or maybe he is getting abducted again or like interacting with them. It does leave you with this very ambiguous thing, and it's like you feel like you learned something, but like you as the viewer like kind of didn't. Other than that, like you vicariously have this experience through them, which is like very terrifying. And yeah, part of the reason I shut it off was I was by myself last night, stoned to the tits, and doing the fucking scene where walking around his house with a shotgun. Like, nah, this gunplay is making me uncomfortable. And like, sure enough, where I picked up today, he almost shoots his wife, which I don't know if that's fucking accurate. I mean, probably, but holy fucking shit. I was yeah, I was a little too high for that. But I ended up with a different ass podcast. I watched this whole thing last night. But no, yeah, so yeah, like I don't really feel the need to recall like the movie like beat for beat, but like a couple of things I would like to point out. Um I don't, like I said, I take everything this guy says with a grain of salt. He was a fiction writer. He is a fiction writer. He's published a shitload of books on the subject, which it seems like he's beat to death, but claims he keeps having new experiences, and I guess tours as like some kind of like UFO survivor, or like I guess like pundit, some facet. I don't fucking know. He just goes and he speaks at conferences, and that's pretty cool. um so like I kind of think that like if he's this accepted into the UFO community, like he does carry a bit of credential with him. But like I've heard all I'm getting at by that is that he seems authentic, and it's like his work seems authentic too. And in this movie, if you know anything about like other alien abductees besides this Whitley guy, there's a couple of consistencies that they throw in here. And this movie was made in like the 80s or early 90s. Forget which. I looked it up yesterday. I'm fucking high again, so I don't know. I want to keep this on track. But there's like these consistencies, and they're very, very subtle. And it's like they hit the major beats, like bright light in the windows, weird grays, or what are I guess supposed to be grays with like big eyes, fucking anal probes, like like the pretty routine shit. And then they get like a little bit more subtle with it. At one point, he says something offhand about the smell. Now, I don't know how deep into ufology people are willing to go. I'm pretty, like, I got a lot of time on my hands. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I spend a lot of time on 4chan. Well, you know what? Once in a while, you do find some weird shit on X. And there's this one consistency that you find is the smell. Is that everybody says that when they are abducted, or if they have, like, some encounter, because apparently they can, like, portal through time in some ways and like manipulate matter in a way where like you can go into a dimension that you're already, like, I know this is very fucking tinfoil hat Joe Rogan-y shit, but like I'm dead serious, this is what it is. But they say like when you interact with them, or they bring you aboard or whatever, they have this like really bad like battery electric smell that just smells like foul, like burnt, and like like sulfur in batteries, fucking like your charger overheating, something like that, but like foul. And they just subtly peppered that in here, and like when I saw that, I just gave this movie the nod automatically. I think my rating right now would be like an 8 out of 10. That was an 8 out of 10 movie because it kept my attention. It was a little too long. There was a couple of like exposition things that were like but like overall, I really fucking dug this movie. Like the little nods when they ask which type too, that's like such a groundbreaking thing for how early on in the UFO, like before this was part of like, before there was like really the internet to like pass all these fucking weird photos of what you claim to be like allegedly, the photo of the alien that keeps getting taken down on 4chan, which I mean, it's just another grifter, man. I've been here since fucking forever, dog. Like 2008. I was on that website before. Like, it's not even fucking what it used to be. But yeah, like there used to be this thing called a grifter, and they've just been since modifying it, where the grifter doesn't exist. It's just this like this video that like people are like it's more of an urban legend than anything. And then there's like a couple of like loose fan made things that are difficult to find, but if you have enough time and you can spend it on 4chan piecing shit together, it is like kind of fun to do. But nah, it's a grift. It's supposed to waste your time and leave you with no results. And there's been since like subtle changes to that. And I forget how I got on the subject of this, but oh, the fucking alien photo. Yeah, there's like a grifter of an alien in the desert. And, maybe this fucking YouTube video, actually, fuck, I hope I get flagged for this. Somebody flag me and say that I'm disclosing that picture on 4chan of the alien in the desert with the tree behind it. And, see if this gets taken down. If anybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about, I guarantee nobody's even listening to this. Somebody fucking flag this video for bringing that picture up. Yeah, right on. And that's actually definitely. Alright, fuck. Yeah, like I said, like the authenticity of this movie really is what carries it so well. And like walking that fine line. Oh, a little too snooty baloney. But no, Christopher Walken walking that fine line of like crazy and like believing what he's seeing, because he's in this delicate position where he doesn't know if he's really scrambled or like he's really witnessed something, and then it takes him a real long time to like even admit to his wife what's happening, and then like it takes them a long time to process it, and they have to go to like groups, and they just have to confront it. And it's weird too, that's like something else that I just recently found out about, and it was from a different podcast, but someone was saying that if you like are going to confront interdimensional beings, you can't do it in a plane where fear is like a factor of it. Like you have to confront them with like the utmost confidence, because otherwise they will just like dwell in your soul. And it's like, I don't know why, it kind of makes sense. Like everybody that like usually claims they have like a real bad experience with aliens says that like they were like afraid, but like they were like coaxed into not being afraid. But like, and like in this case I guess too, like Walken or Whitley or whatever the fuck you want to call him, he was like very skeptical and afraid, and it like was a recurring thing too, and clearly he was uncomfortable throughout until he confronted the shit. And it's like, fuck, they just came like full circle to me. Like maybe that is like a thing, like if you are going to confront some kind of like alien life form, you got to go out there and be like chest out, fucking diplomatic and ready to roll. And I don't know, it was just an interesting thing. Like I said, this movie has like some very authentic elements that really carry it, and like the the sequences with the aliens, like I mean, this isn't a gripe, but it has to be addressed. And it's probably what I'm going to spend the bulk of my time talking about, because this is like what I worked on when I worked in movies, was this like effects department, the props department, like shit like that. Is the late 80s, early 90s, like it's pre CGI, but like I'm sure there was like some digital manipulation of shit. Like it's definitely shot on film. It probably like doesn't have much as the way of like special effects go. Like most of what it was like just superimposing the alien head to just kind of come out of the abyss, which isn't a difficult thing. You just mat something out from behind and like make it so that it's like the point of critical focus and shine a really hard light on it. And, like in this case, they were dancing it around like someone was behind it with like their hand in a puppet, and then you just like kind of chroma key it in. I think, and that's all there is to it. But it was a lot more difficult back then. The chroma key wasn't exactly as point and click as it is nowadays. They had to probably like fucking layer a bunch of composite shit out and then composite a bunch of shit in just to get the effect to look like clean enough. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, and I respected it too. It was like, yeah, they did the best with what they were working with. They could have gone over the top with like the set design. That is something that I just by sheer like observation and in my like what they did the best with what they could as far as the alien ship goes, because they've understood that to be like of all the ambiguity, that's like probably the most ambiguous thing about alien abductions is that like everybody says the room is like different, but like for the most part that like is a couple of consistencies that I've at least seen in my travels, which is there's like not really many right angles or anything, like nothing has like dimension. And this, it's like he kind of they play around with the concept of that, and even so there's like a bait and switch scene like during the first after the first time where he's with his kid and they go to a haunted house and he flips out on some kid for scaring him. That's like a really like I thought that was like very well put together. And also there's like this theme with eyes, and I didn't really figure it out. Like I mean like I guess at the end they're standing in an art museum with very like abstract art, like it looks like a couple of like Jackson Pollocks and like some Rembrandts. I think it's Rembrandt. I have no fucking idea. I'm way too high to be naming artists. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. Monet. Fuck. Give me a break. But yeah, it was like a lot of the art was focused on like the visage and like faces and eyes and shit. And I noticed that throughout that there's like this like they even like subtly sneak it into shots. There's one where there's outright a jump scare with something that he opens like a closet and there's just these eyes staring back at him. It's like it's very unsettling. It does this film just by the props and like the use of space and set design, like everything about it is very well balanced. It's very well like very elaborately placed. And there's like these not like Dutch angles, but they give like they present like the way Wes Anderson films have like or like Stanley Kubrick rather has like symmetry. This has like asymmetry in a way that's like deliberately made to like it's balanced, but it's meant to make you feel uncomfortable. And that like coupled with like these weird like some very good cross cutting and like lighting, it's just a well designed props. Like it's very hard for them, I'm sure, to replicate exactly what this dude is like trying to express to them, but they did the best with what they like. It comes off as very authentic, and that's I know I keep fucking saying authentic like it's the word of the fucking day, but it's a subject that's very touchy and it's very like I'm very fascinated in alien abductions. I don't personally believe I've had any alien abductions. I've seen some weird shit in the woods, but anybody that smokes pot has, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking deserved. No, I'll give it. I'll give it. No, it's a pretty good one. Pretty good one. But no, like I mean, everybody seems to have like some kind of alien encounter. Nobody really wants to talk about it. But I think like movies like this they exist, and like one like this is so fucking good. And I didn't know about this movie till not too long ago. And it's cool. Like I'm probably gonna end up reading this guy's book because I just am interested in the subject and the story is particularly fascinating. I will definitely keep broaching the subject too. I'll find more alien movies because I really enjoyed this one, and it was very understated, but in a smart way. And you did have to use your brain. This wasn't a training wheels movie. It wasn't one that you're gonna waltz into and munch popcorn. Like you're gonna have to probably think about some shit after this one. And there's some very heavy-handedness, but it has fun with what it is, as well as comes off as a real observation or like real recounting. Real observational recounting. No, fuck that. That's not how I want to end this. It's not how I want to end this. I gotta come up with something better than that. Like it fucking not authentic. I don't want to say authentic. Genuine, yeah. I guess it's a real genuine, um, like honest film. Like the source material was good, and it just felt like something that everybody was on the same page about. And you don't get that with too many movies. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about it. It's a fucking awesome movie. I'm not doing a great job of explaining it, but yeah, everything about it is perfect. If you like horror movies, if you like a psychological thriller, perfect fucking movie for you. This one was good. Like I said, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and you get some excellent walking. Like, hey, yeah, nothing, doing his thing. He's having a good time. All right, well, that's enough of me rambling. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.